FM 94, The Dark. It is that time again. It's time to get to know a band we play here on The Dark. And I'm excited about this because tonight we have Jacob Cade in studio. In fact, earlier today, he already played down at the West Side Bar, rocked down there with a lot of people, a lot of fun down there. Great time had by all. In fact, people didn't want him to leave, but unfortunately he had to because it was poker night down there. So people were saying, get out of here. We want to play some poker. So, hey, thanks so much for joining me, Jacob. Welcome to The Dark. How you doing?
I'm doing amazing, man. Thank you so much for having me. It's going to be a blast. I'm super happy to be here.
Hey, let's talk about you and how this all got going. Give us the history. Give us the background, I guess, when it comes to Jacob Cade.
Well, the history and background. So basically, I've been playing since I was about 8 years old. I was 8, and I went over to a friend's house, and we played some Guitar Hero, and I was really loving the music and basically the animation of the actual person playing guitar in it. So I went home, and I picked out the first thing with a guitar on it, which was Song Remains the Same by Led Zeppelin, and that seeing Jimmy Page play guitar and play the Les Paul and hearing the music just launched it for me. So that's where I wanted to be a rock and roll guitar player. So ever since then, I've been listening to guys like Slash and Aerosmith, Joe Perry, and Steven Tyler and Billy Gibbons, and got into singing and wanted to put my own band together. So I started writing music, and few years, lots of years go by of me, kind of teaching myself the craft and everything and working on performance and doing all the stuff that, they say the 10,000 hours thing, locked myself in a room, every day of the week. And fast forward, and now I'm here talking to you guys with the song out, and I've worked with a bunch of amazing people along the way. It's just been a wild ride so far. I'm super excited.
And you mentioned your new song, "What's Your Problem," which you're spinning here on The Dark, which we're digging it. We're liking it. People in this area are loving it. And the thing that drives me nuts already is that you're 19, right?
Yes, I am.
And you started when you're 8, so 11 years have already gone by. That's a lot of time, but you're young, aren't you?
Yes, I am. I'm very, as they say, green in the whole thing. I like to say, but I've been learning a lot so far, from everybody that I come into contact with. We just got off the road a few months ago with Bobaflex. They took us out, and we were direct support for them, and that was an amazing learning experience. And the band that I took with me was killer, and that's Corey Tremontelli and Jonah Nimoy, and we just, I met them a week before we went out on tour. They knew the songs already. We kind of tweaked them for the live show, and then we went out, and we got to know each other on the road, and we played with each other, night in, night out. It always got better, so very cool to play with some killer musicians, and learning experiences like that, being so young, it's like I still feel like a sponge. Everything's just kind of soaking in. But yeah, and then from that, fast forward a little bit, we opened up for Steel Panther.
Yeah, I heard.
At the Fillmore, which was really, really awesome, man.
What was that like? I mean, I got to believe, and you're from Colorado, right?
I am, yes.
Okay, so you're playing basically in your hometown or your home state.
Oh, yeah, that was, the place was like 40 minutes from my house, so.
And then you're playing in front of a band like Steel Panther. That must have just been mind-blowing for you.
It was. It really was. It was, they say, we always said, as a family and as a band, like, one day this is all gonna happen. One day this is all gonna happen. One day you're gonna have a name somewhere. One day this is all, and that was a day that we said one day, and it was all happening. So that was kind of like a really big dream come true, and like having the people that were there around me, I couldn't have asked for better people there to share it with. It was amazing, and then the crowd was like mind-blowing. It was like 4,000 people.
Wow.
And they were digging it, man. It was one of those where you put your hand up and they like start screaming. It was You could feel the energy. It was awesome.
Was that one of the biggest crowds that you've ever played in front of?
I think I can say that was the biggest one.
Okay.
So far.
So far?
Yes, so far. By about 2,500 people. So, and then we came to Spokane.
Yep.
And we played a show opening up for Red.
And
that was about 1,500 people. So that was like another one that was awesome. The crowd was digging it. And another one where you put your fist up and they start screaming. So I'm getting really lucky with the shows that are coming by. I'm super thankful for everything. It's amazing.
Yeah, I suppose being a 19-year-old, and I know you got your mom here today. And I jokingly said to her this morning, or when she came in, that your momager is here, and Claudia. And I want to bring Claudia in for a sec. I know you're on camera here and you're videotaping this, but I got to bring you in because obviously a 19-year-old. Now, I've had some other youngsters in here, and I've been amazed at, moms and dads letting them go out. Obviously, he's 19 years old, so he can kind of do what he wants now, maybe more so than some of the kids that I had in here before that were 13 and 14. But I guess, what have you seen over the past few months and what he is witnessing, and you're witnessing it too? Is it just mind-blowing and amazing to see your son doing what he's doing?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, actually, when you see him on stage live and you see what he does, you can tell he was born to do this. I mean, it's his passion. It's what he works really hard at. And I'm just very grateful that I'm able to be a part of it. And my husband actually started him with the music. And he's the bass player in the local shows. But, both of us are just kind of like pinching ourselves. Wow, this is really going to happen for him. And we're all very grateful and thankful that it is, because this is what he was born to do. I mean, you see him on stage, and it's just incredible. I mean, he belongs there. He's a natural. And on interviews and everything. So I'm very proud of him, absolutely. And he has, the biggest heart. Once you meet him, everybody just falls in love with him, and rightly so. And, he's a really good kid. He's the youngest of our three, and, his older sisters also really support him. It's a really a big family event, so, we're going to stick through it.
Well, as you mentioned, so he's the youngest of three, so your other two kids, at least, they're out and about now, so you're not raising anybody at the house. So is this an opportunity now for you to get out and about with him?
Well, I have a full-time job as well.
Okay, there you go.
So this is my other full-time job. I'm very fortunate that the company that I work for allows me to do this with him.
Right.
And we have 4 grandchildren as well, so it's a big sacrifice, definitely, but totally worth it. Totally worth it.
You mentioned, obviously, your husband was with the band. Is that kind of how he got his love for music?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there was guitars all over the place when he was growing up. And I would say when he was about 4 years old, he picked up his first guitar and hasn't put it down. And, I mean, he's just, it's a God-given talent, actually. And whatever he picks up, whatever he does, he puts his mind to it and he just does it. I mean, it's like 100%, full on.
As a mom, I'm sure you were at that Steel Panther show.
Yeah.
What was that like, seeing 4,000 people in front of your son?
Going crazy. It was unreal. It really was. And just the reception that he got. And everybody just loves the music. And, I kind of feel like finally people are noticing what I've known all along, all these years. So it was an emotional evening. My parents, Jacob's abuelos, were there. His sisters were there. Really close friends that have been with us since the beginning were there. So it was quite a night.
You mentioned that. As parents, we all think our kids are great. I mean, we, it's just, he's the next, and a lot of people are like, okay, yeah, sure, whatever. But Jacob, he seems like he generally truly has a passion for this. And I'm going to ask him a question here in just a minute, but, was it easier for him to just play guitar, or was it easier for him to play guitar and sing, or was it easier for him not to sing? I mean, that was the question I'm going to ask. But you can answer that for him.
The guitar definitely started first.
Okay.
I'm sure he'll tell you a different story than I will, but I pretty much, if I'm going to back you up, I said, you got to sing too. You got to be the front man, because I'm not going to put all of my blood, sweat, and tears and money into, supporting someone else. And then he finally took on to that, and he's just taken off. He's just really done well with it.
Awesome. Thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. And we're going to bring Jacob back in. Of course, that's Claudia, his mom. And we're talking with Jacob Cade. His latest song is called What's Your Problem? We're going to hear some stuff here in just a matter of moments. But getting onto that question, I was going to bring it up. You say you played Guitar Hero.
Yeah.
So you're playing the guitar, and then the singing part came later. Was that nerve-wracking for you to be a singer, too, along with guitar, or not?
Well, I guess the singing part kind of came. I'd always been, like my mom said, I've been getting pushed to do it. Not really. You have to do it, but kind of like yeah, you should sing. Sing too and everything. And I wasn't into it at first because I wanted to be Jimmy Page. I wanted to be Slash. Why would I sing? That's the singer's job. I want to be the guitar player. And then I came across Billy Gibbons and ZZ Top, and I fell in love with what they were doing. And I was like, I want to have a 3-piece band, and I'm going to sing, and that's how it's going to do it. And so then I kind of I remember the first song I started trying to sing and play at the same time was Jesus Just Left Chicago by ZZ Top.
Okay, yeah.
And I was like, I could do this. I could figure it out. Yeah, it's no big deal. And so I had played without looking at my guitar anyways, so I was like, okay, well, I could try and sing too. So I started singing, and then, like anything, you just keep doing it and doing it and doing it, and then it becomes easier. And, and it's gotten me this far, singing and playing, and started listening to actually singers and being influenced by them. So now I have these two worlds that I can pick and choose from, and it's really cool. It really broadened my whole view of music.
Awesome. All right, enough said with the talking. Let's start shredding on the guitar and singing. So what do you got for us here, the first one?
Well, the first one, this is a song called Icky Nicky. I wrote this with Lizzie Hale and Joe Hottinger from Hailstorm.
Oh, yeah. I talked to Joe a few years ago.
Cool guy, right?
Awesome guy.
Super cool. He was meeting them for the first time was amazing. We got there at about 12 in the afternoon. We didn't leave till 12 at night.
Okay.
It was like awesome. They're such great people, and Joe and he was showing me all his guitars and jamming and everything. So great people, and we came out with the really cool song. So that's what I'm going to play for you. Cool
story about Joe really quickly. I got a chance to talk with him just after they won their Grammy.
Oh, no
Love
way.
Bite, So Do I.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah. And I said, how's that Grammy looking on the mantle? And he's like, oh, my goodness, I can't believe we got a Grammy.
Yeah.
So it was very cool. It was just about a month after that it happened.
I actually saw that Grammy. He showed it to me.
He did? Oh, there. So there. Yeah. Jacob has seen the Grammy.
It does look pretty good.
Looks pretty good
to answer your question.
All right. Yeah. Let's hear some new rock here. And once again, this is Jacob Cade. He was rocking earlier down to the West Side Bar. Now he's rocking here in studio tonight on The Dark. And he's got some new stuff for us. It's called Icky Nicky. Yeah. And we're going to hear it right now. Crank it up, Jacob. It's on The Dark. It's on FM 94.
She walked in, showing some skin, and headed right for the stage. With a look in her eye and her heels sky high, smelling from a mile away. Had a pretty face, legs for days, but her heart was cold as stone. Blood red lips that are poisonous, you better leave that girl alone, yeah. Better leave that girl alone, stay away from Icky Nicky. You can look, but you better not touch. Love is pain like a time bomb ticking away. Baby, how fast can you run? Yeah. In another life, I called her mine, give her everything I had. Fool me once, shame on me, never fool me again. She wanted my soul and her control, never trouble for the shame. Truth is, never lost somebody quite like she loves herself. Yeah. Stay away from Icky Nicky. You can look, but you better not touch. Love's pain like a time bomb ticking away. Baby, how fast can you run? in your game. You can look, but you better not touch. Love is playing like a time bomb ticking away. Baby, how fast can you run now?
Wow, good job, man. Woo!
Thank you so much.
That's awesome.
I appreciate it.
And everybody's out there thinking, man, there's a whole band in there rocking.
Yeah, right?
What you got down back there? Tell us what's going on there.
I have a little contraption that I made up for this little tour here.
Yeah.
What it is a little Roland microcube amplifier.
Okay.
For those of you listening, it's tiny. I don't even know how small I could say it is. It's like not even a foot by a foot. It's like a tiny square, tiny cube. And then I have my laptop playing the actual studio tracks,
right.
with no lead vocals on it.
Yep.
And then I'm just playing guitar through the amp and also running the tracks through the amp as well because it's got a little aux cord. So that's what I was able to come up with for this little tour here, this radio tour that we're doing.
It's like you're a one-man band.
Yeah, yes.
I love it.
It's very cool, man. Funny story about the amplifier. So the way I figured out that this thing existed was because when we were recording the actual record, I was in Nashville, staying in Nashville for about a month. So we were staying in a hotel.
Okay.
And the way I wanted to record the leads, I wanted to write them the morning or the night before I went into the studio the next morning and cut them, while they're fresh. And so what I ended up doing was Michael Wagner, who produced the record.
Yeah.
He lent me this amplifier that he had just laying in his studio of many wondrous things. And so I took it home and we were staying in one hotel room, so there was just a room and a bathroom. My mom was staying with me, so at night, she wanted to get some sleep, so I took the
Mom wants
amplifier.
sleep?
Yeah, right? Can you imagine that? I took the amplifier into the bathroom, and I closed the door, and I would sit on the toilet with my guitar and just, play and had my phone playing the music. So I was just, that's how I wrote all the solos for this record. So, yeah, fun fact.
On the throne.
Yes, yeah. Not actually using it.
Okay.
Most times. But,
Seat was down.
Yes.
It's all good. It's all good.
But, no, it was pretty fun. Fun little thing. It was, I guess one of those stories that no one really hears. But, yeah, so that's how all the solos are written.
That's cool. We got Jacob Cade in studio here tonight on The Dark and FM 94. And, of course, earlier on he was at the West Side Bar rocking down there. Good turnout of people there. And, Jacob, you're on a little mini tour here right now of radio stations, but I think it's an end-all. You have a benefit coming up this weekend, don't you?
Yes. Yeah, we are playing in Eau Claire, Wisconsin.
Okay.
We're doing a cancer benefit, which is very close to my heart because we've, as a family, have been through something concerning cancer.
You've had some of that, so
yeah.
It's amazing that everybody's touched by it in some way. How were you guys touched by it?
It's crazy, yeah. My sister actually got diagnosed with osteosarcoma when she was 15.
Wow.
I have to say I was about 8 or 9. I probably 6, I guess.
Okay.
I'm looking at my mom.
Yeah, that's okay.
So it was. From that time until now,
right.
Doesn't ever end, but it was pretty crazy, pretty life-changing. So
Wow.
It's actually one of a big reason that I'm doing all this now, because it's when you're that young, you don't really know that this isn't normal. So it kind of made me realize and everyone that happens to everybody. So I guess I should kind of get on my horse if I'm going to do this before that happens to me, you know, because as a child you think you're so impressionable and everything. So yeah, so I started to do music, and that's...
And what a platform. Not only a platform, but also a way to maybe express yourself and what you're feeling of what's happening in your life. Definitely.
Well, I mean, it really became regular to me, you know, going to hospitals and everything like that. I didn't like it, you know. Till this day, hospitals aren't really a thing that I enjoy, but it was character building, I guess, for myself and for my entire family also. Brought us really close, and we made it through it.
That's awesome.
She's cancer-free right now. She's got 3 of my little nieces and nephews, so it's really awesome, man. Yeah.
Awesome.
So
well, that's great news. That's great to hear, and we wish her the best, and hopefully everything works out in the long run for her.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
you know, so you're out, you're doing a show over there, and what I heard is there's a bunch of bands coming in that, so kind of a little tribute kind of thing, or for cancer and that, kind of crush cancer, knock out cancer, rock out cancer, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, man, it's awesome. I'm always super excited to do things like this. I love it. I actually, we were in Mankato earlier. That was our previous stop, and they actually had me sign a guitar. A guitar for a cancer thing that they were doing. So I was like, oh, this is cool, man. Of course. So anything like that, I'm super excited to do.
You must have been down talking with Spence then down there.
Yes.
Huh? Okay.
I was. Yeah.
It seems like every time we have a band coming through here, I get them, then he gets them, or vice versa, kind of back and forth. So it's really cool.
It's cool, man.
We work together like that a lot. And, you were mentioning you're kind of out on the tour here, the radio swing and that. Do you want to do some more touring? What's the next step, I guess, for Jacob Cade here?
Well, after we get home from here, from this tour, we end off with a show in Chicago. So then after Chicago, we get back home, and... after that, we have a show opening up for Dawkin in Scottsdale.
Okay.
So that's the next thing on our plate, and then we have some other things that we're working on after that. So it's looking on the up and up. Actually, we're getting a lot of cool opportunities, and it's super super exciting. That's all I can say. It's just excitement all around.
You know what's really cool is your song, What's Your Problem? About 3 weeks ago, I think, hit the top 50 on Mediabase on the active rock charts. That's amazing, by the way, to do that. And you're still sitting right now in that top 50 spot. I think you're at like 44 this week or so. But that is great, and you're getting more spins. As a 19-year-old artist to be on a top 50 rock chart, that's got to be just mind-blowing.
It is pretty crazy. Hearing you say that right now is very crazy. You know, it still gives me kind of chills, you know. It's just... It's like I said, it's everything you say. Well, one day we're going to do this.
Yeah, you went from playing Guitar Hero now to being rocking the world, basically.
Yeah, it's really, really mind-blowing, like you said. It is just one of those things you say, one day this is going to happen. One day I'm going to do this, one day. And it's just insane that it's one day is today, you know, happening. So it's really awesome.
So give us the background a little bit of the next song you're going to play for. I'm assuming you're going to play What's Your Problem for us.
Yes, that's the next one.
So give us some background on that. Obviously, you know, when I hear the song, it seems like somebody was picking on somebody kind of thing. Is that kind of where it's at, or what is the story about it?
Yeah, well, I actually wrote this song with Rachel Bolan of Skid Row.
Oh, yeah.
So we went in, and it was the most, like, rock and roll thing, the most rock and roll situation. We went into his studio, and I was like, "Hey man, I got this guitar thing." He's like, "Okay, well." So I played it for him, and then I ended up writing the guitar parts like in 30 minutes or so, and he brought out his bass, and him and I were jamming it and everything. He's like, "Okay, cool." And so we got there, and then I just laid down the track on his board, and then we wrote the lyrics on top of the track that I had laid down. And the way it kind of came out was like, well, what are you going to write about? And at the time, I was kind of like, I'm in high school, you know.
Right.
When you're in high school, there's all sorts of things you can be mad about. So I was telling stories whatever. Yeah, this guy did this, and could you imagine if someone did this, and then blah, 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 we're doing this, and him and I were just kind of like conversing, as well as, what are you going to name it, And so I remember telling one story, and I ended it off, it's like, yeah, I know, man, what's your problem? And he was like, oh, man, that's good. That's a good stuff. And so why don't we just say that? Why don't we just use what's your problem? And it was like, all right. And then after that, everything just fell into place. And our target was kind of like that punky Guns N' Roses, Use Your Illusion type sound, Yeah,
there's definitely an 80s twist to it. I will say that.
Yeah. And that's where I come from, man. That's the music that really it speaks to me, as well as a whole bunch of other stuff.
Right.
But, as far as guitar goes, and I guess I could really pinpoint it is that Use Your Illusion sound, where, Slash's guitars is like rip. It's really like that I don't care type of attitude.
So let me ask you this.
Man.
Have you met Slash yet?
No.
Okay, so that's on the bucket list to do here, huh?
Yeah, but I have played with Brent Fitz.
Yeah?
He played on the record.
Okay.
And so we're buddies, and I actually just
Your phone's blowing up right now. Slash is probably on the other end, right?
Well,
he's listening right now.
See, yeah. No, I actually did. I texted Todd Kearns, his bass player. Yeah. Like right before we came here. I know two of his guys from his band that are very cool, by the way. They're super awesome. I got a chance to catch up with Todd. He was playing in Boulder, Colorado. He was doing a little acoustic thing, and Brent was like, "Hey, Todd's gonna be there. You should go meet him and talk to him. He knows you're coming." So I went, and I got to meet Todd and everything. Just it's like they're the type of people that you meet once, and it's like you've been friends for forever.
Right. Same
thing with Lizzie and Joe, and same thing with Rachel, and same thing with Paul Taylor from Winger.
Awesome.
So lots of great company, but so Slash. I hope someday I get to meet him. That would be really awesome, man.
Slash, if you're listening right now, Jacob wants you to say hi to him, so make sure you call him, all right?
Yes.
All right.
Yes, please.
All right, let's get to your current top 50 song on Active Rock. What's your problem? And I think he's all ready to go. And once again, Jacob Cade in studio here. We're going to have him here all night long, at least till midnight here on The Dark. But right now, he's going to rock out with his current hit, What's Your Problem? Rock it out, Jacob.
I'm a daytime dreamer and a nighttime lord, playing game with a chess and a checkerboard. You know my own without all in your head. I'm on scrap metal, not a wedding band. You're not the only one to want to change my world. I'm not sitting around to watch it burn, yeah. I see you staring at me. Turning you green, just to let me be, baby. What's your freaking problem? Remedy. Don't get leather and combat boots, but I look dang good in a three-piece suit. 3D vision in my two-old shades. Head-on collision, attitude for day. You're not the only one to light my world on fire, but I'm not sitting around to watch it burn, yeah. See you staring at me, think I'm turning you green, yeah. Just to let me be, baby, what's your freaking problem? Yeah, I know what your problem is, baby. Yeah, all you gotta do is look in the mirror, honey. Oh, your problem is yow! between. Just let me be, baby. What's your freaking problem with me?
Oh yeah, woo! We got
right.
got some fans in here once again. I know
Thank you guys so
Paladin's
much,
here. We got
man.
Brandon here. We got the Momager here and
Yes.
Claudia.
Oh yeah, and we're live, I think, right now, right on Facebook.
Are we live?
We're live
Wow.
right now. Yeah.
Oh my. How we doing, world?
on my
Yeah,
end,
how's it
too.
going?
Yes.
Woo. Awesome. Hey, let's I know we'll get talk more about you here in a little bit, but let's get some information. If more people want information about Jacob Cade, how can they get your stuff?
Yeah, man. Well, first of all, you can find me on all social media at Jacob Cade Rocks. I'm on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all that stuff. And if you want to talk, message me because I'm all about that. Very
Hey,
accessible.
you're 19,
Yeah.
right? Social
Right?
media,
I'm,
right?
I'm good at that stuff, you know.
I mean, I have two
It came-
13-year-old daughters and a 12-year-old daughter, and they know that stuff more than I do, so
it
they're
comes
all
with-
over it.
It comes with a different chip
Yeah,
in
I was
the
just gonna
brain,
say, you
something
know.
like that.
Yeah, I don't know how that works anymore, but that Snapchat or whatever that stuff
Yeah,
is.
I'm on that too.
Uh-oh.
So yeah, at Jacob Cade Rocks, that's where you can find me on everything. And also, we have a website called jacobcadeproject.com.
Okay.
And as a matter of fact, I have another website that if you go to, I'm doing it special for you guys. You can go to giftfromjacob.com. You can get a free download of the single "What's Your Problem" that's out. So giftfromjacob.com. Visit that. Tell me where to send it, and you'll get a free song. So yeah, we're ready to rock. And
Wow.
again, message me.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Stick around. We're going to be here for a while, right?
Yes, of course.
Thanks
Can't
so
wait.
much.
Thank you.
Once again, that is Jacob Cade. We'll be back with more. You're listening to the Dark. Back with more. You're listening to the Dark. Back